Hello my students. As we have begun our English syllabus, 12th class syllabus, and from 12th class syllabus 1.1 and astrologers day, I have already provided you an introduction of the chapter. Who has written this lesson? R.K. Narayan. He is the writer of this lesson. And about R.K. Narayan we have also discussed. I have also shared a YouTube video with you to understand the lesson thoroughly. Now today we have to go through the textbook. We will read this textbook and the lesson also. But I hope you have seen the YouTube video of the lesson so that you should understand what is this story about, an astrologer's day. So if you have not seen that YouTube video which I have shared on our group, please first watch that video and then see this video. So friends, be ready. Open your textbook, page number 2, an astrologer's day. I am reading it and also explaining. You take out your textbook and carefully listen. Let's see. Page number 2, an astrologer's day. Punctually at midday, he opened his bag, spread out his professional equipment, which consisted of a dozen cowrie shells, a square piece of cloth with obscure mystic charts on it, a notebook, and a bundle of Palmyra writing. In the very first few lines, what writer has explained? Typical atmosphere of an astrologer. How an astrologer sit in the market with his things. So all these things, mystic chart, cowrie shell, square piece of cloth, this is the description of all his things. Let's see. His forehead was resplendent, very bright. Means these astrologers has a bright face, and every time they attract the customers. So this was the same with a sacred ash and a vermilion, that orange color tilak. And his eyes sparkle with a sharp abnormal gleam, which was really an outcome of a continual searching look for customer, but which simple clients took to be a prophetic light and felt comforted. See what happened when we see an astrologer, he has a gleam in his eyes. Do you know how he get that gleam? He always look for his customer here and there and there, and that his looking give him a gleam in his eyes and bright cheer. So such he was an astrologer. The power of his eyes was considerably enhanced by their position placed as they were between the painted forehead and the dark beard, which trimmed down his cheek. Even a half-wit's eyes would sparkle in such a setting. To crown the effect, he wore a saffron-colored turban around his head. Students, this is the description of an astrologer. Astrologer means a prophet, one who tells about your future or something. Usually in the marketplace you see. So this all is the description of the astrologer. So he said there. This color scheme never failed. People were attracted to him as bees are attracted to cosmos. Just like the bees, butterflies, that insect attracted toward nature, in such a way customer attract towards this astrologer. And the he asked. He sat under the bough of spreading tamarind tree. Tamarind? Chinsa. So he sat under the tree. Typical atmosphere, which flanked a path running through the town hall park. It was a remarkable place in many ways. So this is the description of a market where the astrologer sit, and from there a path goes through the town. A surging crowd was always moving up and down this narrow road from morning till night. So this is a marketplace. The astrologer, he sat under the tamarind tree, and there is a road and people is moving from here and there. So this is the description of an astrologer. A variety of trades and occupation was represented all along its way. Medicine sellers, sellers of stolen hardware and junk, magician, and above all an auctioneer of cheap cloth who created enough din all day to attract the whole town. So beside the astrologers, there were other people also who were selling their cheap clothes or other article, some magicians or this. So this is the description of the market. Astrologer is sitting under the tamarind tree, and beside him there were others also. Next to him, very near to astrologer, in vociferousness means being noisy and loud. All the meanings are given in the textbook. You can see. Came a vendor of fried groundnut. So where he sat under the tamarind tree, near to him there is a person who is selling groundnut. And in the selling, he makes some noise. When the groundnuts are fried, it makes some noise. Who gave him his ware a fancy name each day, calling it Bombay ice cream, one day on the next Delhi almond, and on the third day Raja's delicacy. So for his groundnut, he gave different name. Whenever a person sells his things, he gives or he describes the things with different names. A considerable portion of this crowd dallied before the astrologer too. The people who wander in the market, they also go through the astrologers. So many people just go and look the astrologer, what he is doing. So many people have some doubt in their mind, or they have a typical attraction toward astrologer. So they were just moving towards him. The astrologer transacted his business by the light of a flare which crackled and smoked up above the groundnut heap nearby. See, it was evening time, and astrologer don't have his light on his head. There is no municipal corporation light. All the light he gets from the various shops, measure from that groundnut person who is selling from his shop. One or two had hissing gaslight. Some had naked flares stuck on poles. Some were lit up by cold old cycle lamps, and one or two, like the astrologer, managed without light of their own. So this was the light presented in the market. Astrologer didn't have his own light. It was a bewildering crisscross of light rays and moving shadows. Now, since the astrologers doesn't have his own light, so the different type of lights which he gets from the other shops, it gives a different atmosphere. Sometimes getting bright light, sometimes getting dim light. So it created some different impression of that astrologer, and it is good for him also. This suited the astrologer very well for the simple reason that he had not in the least intended to be an astrologer when he began life. And he knew no more of what was going to happen to others than he knew what was going to happen to himself next minute. See, this is the reality of astrologers. Astrologers never know about himself. So how can he tell about the others also? So this is the fact about himself. He was as much a stranger to the stars as were his innocent customers. Astrologers always talk about the stars, like moon, the situation of moon, Saturn, and the other planets. But as much he doesn't know about that planet, and he doesn't know about the customer also. Yet he said things which pleased and astonished everyone. That was more a matter of study, practice, and shrewd gracework. Most often these astrologers tell something about the customers, but they don't know about him. But though also by the guessing of the customer, they explain, you have some problem, you other have any problem. So this way they have guesswork of the customer. All the same, it was as much as an honest man's labor as any other, and he deserved the wages he carried home at the end of the day. We cannot say that astrologers don't take much hard work. They work for guessing the customers, for analyzing them, explaining them. So they also deserve some money. So whatever money they get from this thing, it is deserved by them. The about, see, he had left his village without any previous thought or plan. If he had continued there, he would have carried on the work of his forefather, namely tilling land, living, marrying and ripening in his cornfield and ancestral home. Now this is about this astrologer. Why this astrologer came in the market? Actually, he was working with his parents, but he didn't like the work, so he left his village and he came here for just this astrologer's work. But that was not to be. He had to leave home without telling anyone, and he could not rest till he left it behind a couple of 100 miles. So he left his village 100 miles away and he came here. To a villager, it is a great deal, as if an ocean flowed between. For a man who belonged to village, it is very great deal for him. He left his village and came so long here. He had a working analysis of mankind's trouble, marriage, money, and the tangle of human ties. Mostly these astrologers have idea about human troubles. Mostly humans are disturbed by the problems of marriages, money, and this thing. And astrologers know about it. So they usually talk on this topic. Long practice had sharpened his perception. Within 5 minutes, he understood what was wrong. When any customer came to astrologer within a minute guess what problem is with him. He charged 3 pies per question and never opened his mouth till the other had spoken for at least 10 minutes. See, these are the tactics of astrologers. They just watch your palm and only watch you. For a couple of minutes they keep calm. And in this keep 5 minutes or few minutes, customer talk. And when customer talk about himself, he guess what is the problem, which provided him enough stuff for a dozen answers and advices. When he told the person before him gazing at his palm, in many ways you are not getting the fullest result for your efforts. 9 out of 10 were disposed to agree with him. Or he questioned, is there any woman in your family, maybe even a distant relative, who is not well disposed towards you? Or he gave an analysis of character. So these are the particular questions and particular explanations of the astrologers. Just like this, he watch your palm and say, oh, you are not getting full efforts, full result for your efforts. Actually, this happens with everyone. Everyone think that we work so much, but we don't get the result. So this is the explanation normally given by the astrologer. Or there are many women in every person's life, maybe mother, maybe sister, maybe grandmother, maybe or any other, and some or anyway we have some problem. So they also guess that you have a problem from one woman. So this also found to be true. Most of your troubles are due to your nature. How can you be otherwise with Saturn, where he is? You have an impetuous nature and a rough exterior. Whenever a person tells you that you are very good by your nature, but people are bad, you like it. So same the astrologers do. This endear him to their hearts immediately, for even the mildest of us loves to think that he has a forbidding exterior. See, students, I have read up to page number 4, first paragraph. My kind request to you, I have explained this. You again read this paragraph up to page number 4. Have questions with me. I will share another video in the next. Okay, bye.